Good evening. This is Dr. Moreau with Cause de l'École. Again, we're here to provide you with information, and we believe that the more informed you are, you will be able to make better decisions. We miss you. We are back today, and we promise that we will be live every Saturday. We'll be live. So tell your friends, tell your coworkers, share my YouTube video with them, so that way they also can be aware, can receive that information that we are providing to you to Cause de l'École. So today I'm going to talk to you about personality and age. I'm going to give you background information from infancy to adolescent to teenagers, and of course this subject is so vast that I'm not gonna be able to discuss everything today. So next Saturday we will go over the second phase of personality, and I will tell you what we will cover for next Saturday. But today I don't want to be too long. So basically personality is how you change. Do you change? All right, so the question is not whether you'll change, it's how you're going to change. So research shows that your personality traits shift over the years, often for the better. Okay, so who we end up being and how much you like the person you become, you have more control of that than you tend to think, right? So the person you become, you have more control to become that person than you think that you do. So as early as your infancy, the environment and experience influence your temperament, right? So infants who react negatively to changes in the environment, they grow up to become quiet and shy, and they develop social anxiety as adults. So those who react positively are more likely to become social and outgoing, right? So a child goes through three core traits from kindergarten to puberty. So what are those traits that a child goes through from kindergarten to puberty? So there's something called negative emotionality. So that's when they're talking about fear, anger, and frustration. The second one is extraversion. So that's when they experience positive emotions like joy and excitement. And the third one is regulatory dimension. So that's when they describe their ability to focus, stay in control, and work toward their goals. So a child faces those three traits, character traits. So when you become conscientious by regulating your attention and behavior, and you combine this with a growing cognitive ability, traits like empathy and compassion develop. Okay, so when you become conscientious by regulating your attention and behavior, and you combine this with a growing cognitive ability, traits like empathy and compassion develop. So the reason I say it a second time is I want you guys to think about, we always say, en Haïti, il y a toujours dit, nous n'avons pas conscience, nous n'avons pas conscience, nous n'avons pas conscience. So le fait que il dit nous n'avons pas conscience, c'est parce que si vous avez conscience, vous avez plus empathy et puis vous avez plus compassion avec ça qu'a fait dans le pays. Hein? So vous avez conscience, vous avez fait aider le peuple à plus. So c'est parce que vous manquez conscience qui fait ça. So if you are quick to anger and lose control, this can harm your self-esteem, which will lead to more hostile encounters. Okay, So a teen brain changes to help them tune in with new people. So this helps them develop socially and form connections with people outside their families, right? So just because a teen does not listen to you, that does not mean they are being disrespectful, that does not mean they are being rebellious. It's because there are neurological changes that lead them to pay more attention to those new voices, right? So those and that's part of a development. So when they are developing, so those neurological changes lead them to pay more attention to those new voices, and then they tune out their parents. So that does not mean they are being rebellious. Okay, so individual traits go up and down with age, right? So they go up and down with age. So research shows that generally, as we age, we become kinder, more cooperative, organized, and dutiful. All right, so as we age, we become kinder, more cooperative, organized, and dutiful. So there are 5 big personality traits I'm going to share with you, and I will leave you with those 5 personality traits. And next week, we will go over to see how we can, are we able to control those traits, and what are the factors come in play when we are talking about those 5 traits. So what are those 5 big personality traits? So the first one is extraversion, agreeableness, openness to experience, conscientiousness, and neuroticism. So extraversion, agreeableness, conscientiousness, openness to experience, and neuroticism. So neuroticism means when you become more agreeable, you become more conscientious, and you are more emotionally stable. So that's what neuroticism is. So referred to as personality maturation, high agreeableness, high conscientiousness, and emotional stability are desirable traits that tend to align with better life outcomes. So high agreeableness, conscientiousness tend to align with better life outcomes. So if you're in search of better life outcomes, so you need to have high agreeableness. Your conscientiousness level needs to be high as well, and that will lead to better life outcomes. Next week, we're going to talk about how your generation shapes your life, how your generation shapes you. We're going to talk about how your marriage transforms you, and whether there are any benefits to be someone new. What are the benefits of becoming somebody new, right? And whether or not you can change your personality. So next week, we'll talk about how your generation shapes you. We're going to talk about how your marriage can transform you. We're going to talk about if there are any benefits to becoming somebody new. And we'll talk about if you can change, if you yourself can change your personality. Okay? So this was Dr. Moreau with Cause L'école. I don't want to bombard you with too much information in one show. So next week we'll go over those 4 points I mentioned, and I'm going to wish you a very Saturday evening, a very great Saturday evening, and be safe out there with the hurricane that's coming. Take precautions and make all the necessary arrangements that you need. And I will see you next Saturday. Take care.